One of the nicest things with the house is to just peer inside of a window, and it's like you would be peering inside any house window. You've got to make it that accurate and that true to full scale. I'd always been into carpentry and building things around the house, so that all suddenly became my hobby. Got into miniatures through Sue. I sort of took over her hobby a bit. She often accuses me of stealing her hobby, which is not quite true. I just stole the bits that I like, which is the basic construction. I left all the little fiddly bits, which are all the decoration, to Sue.
We got married in 1972. So we've been married 52 years now. We've done everything together. I've always loved little things. When we were living in England, in Stratford-on-Avon, there were lots of little shops and things that sold miniature crockery and little things like that. When we came home and purchased a very basic wooden shop ready to be decorated. The shop at the Rocks is in Susanna Place, so it's Susanna's shop. Then I thought I'd get another one of those boxes, and I asked Jim if he could put another story on it, which he did because he's always had some woodwork skills. And so that was the first of our miniatures.
We've made probably one every 18 months, I suppose, since about 2013. Typically, it takes 6 to 12 months to do a decent building. You don't work at it constantly, you can't. You get bored with it after a while and have to have a break, and then you come back to it. I like to construct it more or less as you would do a house, from the ground up, including internal walls that have a frame and a cladding, roofs that has tiles on it. I
made little tea chests and tea boxes and things. I used felt to make carpet on the floor. I purchased some old-fashioned wallpaper. I bought some very basic furniture. Most of the things were things I was able to make. I used things like a lace doily that I had to make a tablecloth. I made pictures on the wall out of old photos of my great-great-grandmother and my great-grandfather, and I even used an old brooch of my mother's, and it looks like a painting in a frame. Then Jim had taken off then, thinking, this sounds good, I'm going to use my woodworking skills and build an Australian homestead from scratch. And he did. Jim being Jim, who was a very, very focused person and very hard-working, he decided he would do it exactly how that house would have been built.
We more or less decided to make half the house open, so it would open like a concertina, so that you could see through all rooms, and each of the rooms were fully decorated. I suppose it's a fetish. I like things to look accurate, to be accurate. For a 1/24th scale, you're probably looking at less than $500,000. That's difficult sometimes in woodwork, especially doing it all manually. Power saw, of course.
We went up to Queensland to see the solar eclipse, and we came across this beautiful old Queensland pub called the Red Beret. Jim was madly taking photos to come home and start building. The buildings that we had worked on were all 1/12 scale, so we had to scale down the size of it.
Each of the verandas fully opened so that you could see into the pub, and that's a 2-storey veranda, so there's 4 openings altogether. When I was doing that house, that was the first thing that was made, were the verandas. It's hard to put a cost on it. You're working on them for 12 months or more. If you just took the materials, people are not going to pay $5,000. I wouldn't sell them for $5,000. One of the best things, I think, is I like people to enjoy them. I love people to appreciate the work, love the art for what it is, and I love doing it. Commissions are fun, but I've got to fall in love with the building first. That's the thing. That's what happened with the Clifton School of Arts. I just think the original building is magnificent. Built in 1911, I think it was. One of the major features of that new extension is this massive sandstone wall. So that became a feature that I had to duplicate. So I got hold of some sandstone and cut them down into Lego-sized bricks, and then glued them together to form the wall. There was 1,000 of these little bricks that go into the wall, because these are now in 1/24th scale, so they're quite tiny. To do a floorboards in a house, you need to cut them up into tiny little strips, around about 6 mil wide and 1 or 2 mil thick. But once you've got the boards down, you then form the floor. Then you've got to sand it to get it all flat, and then putting the varnish on it, 3 coats of varnish to make it all glossy. So you're building the floor almost as how you would build the house. You can get imitation floorboards, but doing the real thing, there's nothing compares to it.
Jim built a full-size Tudor mansion, probably his favourite because of the amount of work he put into it. It's got a full staircase inside that comes out, and it is magnificent.
People get quite excited when they see that opening because it comes in a number of stages. You open the bottom part and they say, oh, that looks pretty good, that's great. And then you open the top and they go, wow, the whole side of the house is just suddenly opened.
Then, of course, also we thought we had to do a model of Anne Hathaway's cottage. That was a lot of attention to research and everything that Jim did mostly for that. I had done a lot of sketches actually while we were living in Stratford. So I had a fairly good recollection of what it looked like and how it would be.
As Sue mentioned, we do complement each other very well. Our skills are very different. She concentrates more on the finishing of the building. At that stage I've lost interest. I mean, the building's built, so as far as I'm concerned, it's finished. I like that they're a close replica. I like to sit back and just look at them and study them and see how close it is. Almost feels like you're in it.